scientists asked Mr. Reeves, if you find a moose bone, let us know. And we found yesterday in his collection already 4 of them. So if we go through the entire collection of 100,000 bones, I'm convinced that we will find even more of them.
Well, you know, Dick said that this is unique in the world. It's the best collection he's ever seen. I suspect the rest of my born days I'll be doing this because it's kind of like beach combing. You're looking for treasure.
The Ice Age is known amongst scientists as the Pleistocene. A time span starting about 2.6 million years ago and ending up 11,500 years ago. The Ice Age was not just a short period. It was a long time span. Beringia was a landmass connecting the Eurasian continent and the North American continent during the Pleistocene, connected by the so-called Bering Land Bridge. Most of it was covered with ice. But there was an ice-free corridor.
It was surrounded with glaciers, but Fairbanks was never glaciated.
This ice-free corridor was located somewhere in the center of Alaska, crossing into the Yukon and to the south of Canada and United States. And there, where the area was not covered with ice, fauna was living.
Fairbanks during the last ice age was a very different place. Not so much in terms of topography, the landscape, the hills were pretty much the same hills we see today. It varied tremendously, though, in the vegetation. Today we see hills covered with white and black spruce and birch and poplar. During the last ice age, these same hills were actually mostly grassland. They were dry, cold, arid grassland environments, which we call steppe environment. Grasslands like this existed in this area because, first of all, it was colder, but also it was a fairly dry environment as well. These grassland environments were tremendously productive, and they hosted a large number of herbivores. Really, one of the most telling things about the environment during the peak of the last glacial maximum, maybe say 16,000 years ago, isn't so much what we find in terms of the pollen and plant fossils that suggest there was grassland environments, but the animals themselves. The animals we find, the largest number of them are good grazers. They were grassland animals, mammoth, steppe bison, species of horse. These are animals that were dependent on grass. We've even found mammoth remains in other places that clearly have grass caught within the little grooves within their teeth.
We all have in mind a picture about that time span. Woolly mammoths plowing their way through the snow-covered tundra, trying to find some fodder. But that picture is not correct. These fossils from the gold mines tell us that the area was completely different than what we have in mind. We know that mammoths are grazers, like the steppe bison, like the horses, and they use a lot of grasses. So these fossils, they tell us that this must be a landscape covered with tough grasses up to 1 meter high and enough food for all these animals.
The predators that were feeding on these herbivores, a couple of really fascinating species, one being an animal we call the American lion. Definitely one of the top predators in this environment. Another species of cat that inhabited the same time frame, it's called Homotherium. It's not the same thing as the saber-toothed cat, which was also known as Smilodon. That's very well known because of places like La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. Homotherium was a different species of cat altogether. One of the very distinguishing features about it is it did have a large canine, but that back edge of the canine was serrated like a steak knife. Smilodon does not have that at all. To our knowledge, we don't have Smilodon in Alaska, but we did have this large scimitar-toothed cat called Homotherium. One of the other big predators is a short-faced bear, also known as Arctodus. And Arctodus is sort of famous for being a large bear with a shortened face, massive skull. At the shoulders, definitely taller than even the living polar bears and brown bears.
At the end of the Pleistocene, dramatic change of climate took place, around 11,500 years ago. It became warmer, the ice which was covering the northern hemisphere started to melt, the melting water was filling up low countries, the sea level was rising for more than 100 meters, and it decreases the size of the Mammoth steppe immensely. It's an immense collection, and it tells such a wonderful story about the life, something like 30,000, 40,000 years ago. I think we can learn a great deal of all these fossils because they tell a story about how the world looked like during the last
I've learned
period.
a lot in the last 5 minutes.
Great, wonderful. We need these fossils to tell what stage they are in the evolutionary lineage. What kind of animals were living there? So we want to know by the bones how the landscape, the vegetation, and the fauna was at that time.
One of the great challenges of understanding ecosystems is time. You can study an ecosystem anywhere in the world for a year, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, and you'll get some snapshot of information. But what's really challenging about studying biology in that way is there's lots of little fluctuations that happen over, say, a decade or so. You could get a fuzzy perspective on what's going on. Bone accumulations give you a much larger perspective of time.
And you think about it, these things were crawling the earth before the pyramids were built,
Yep.
before any civilization was really happening.
Yep.
So it's kind of, it kind of keeps me balanced. In my opinion, and people might think I'm nuts, but these things are treasure. The tusk I found 2 days ago, just digging a drain, that mammoth died 23,000 years before the first pyramid was built. And you gotta wonder, what was it like back then? Because mankind shared the planet with them at the time. I'd say we have another, in that particular draw, another 10 years. And then we have the next creek down, which is 3 times the length of this creek. So I suspect the rest of my born days I'll be doing this, because it's kind of like beach combing. You're looking for treasure. What'd you find?
It's a special piece. I found it in one of your green boxes there.
You found something over there? Oh, that's...
Yeah.
I remember putting bands on that one because it was a unique bone. I had no idea what it is.
It's good that you did that, because this tibia is from a moose.
People ask me if I ever find moose, and I said, no, I've never found one. But now I guess I can.
You already found one. It's a really nice piece.
There's probably another few bones around here that goes with that moose.
Yeah, if you search the boxes, it may be, it's a live work, but maybe this is the first moose from
awesome.
this place that you found.
First one,
very
it's been
special.
identified as one.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, you're probably one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever seen look at this stuff.
Yeah, I learned it from my father. He had 50 years of knowledge, and I went with him as a little boy, collecting bones.
Awesome.
It's much longer for a...
Yesterday we went through some of the boxes and we found remains of an Ice Age moose. And that's important because scientists have shown interest in the evolution and the distribution of moose during the Pleistocene. And these scientists asked Mr. Reeves, if you find a moose bone, let us know. And we found yesterday in his collection already 4 of them. So if we go through the entire collection of 100,000 bones, I'm convinced that we will find even more of them. Moose is quite an icon for the Northern Hemisphere, especially Alaska. We want to know the history of this animal. Was it already present here during the late Pleistocene or not? So these remains are very important. Today, moose is adapted to a woodland environment. If moose was present in the mammoth fauna on the cold and dry, almost treeless landscape, we have to think about why this animal was capable to adapt to this new environment when the mammoth steppe environment disappeared. So these remains should be radiocarbonated to make sure that these are Pleistocene fauna elements. And the fossils from the gold mines will tell us this story, and then we can rewrite the story of the Pleistocene megafauna, including the moose.
Well, here you go. Moose, caribou, reindeer.
I would say this is also moose.
Moose number 3. Well, you know, Dick said that this is unique in the world. He said this, I think he said it's the best collection he's ever seen. I forget what you said, Dick. You said something really great.
You want to see another moose in your collection?
There's number 3, moose.
Moose.
Moose?
Yeah, a part of the maxilla with beautiful dentition.
Awesome.
A part of the upper jaw, the maxilla, with beautiful dentition of a Pleistocene moose. And these teeth are so diagnostic that you can tell immediately that this is not any other species of deer. This is only moose. So you see, if you go through this collection of Mr. John Reeves, you will find more unique specimens which will tell us about the animals which were living in the past. Ivory is something special. To touch ivory of a mammoth like this is the closest you can get to a mammoth. Even this fragment of ivory tells us a lot about the animal to which it once belonged. If we have an entirely complete tusk of a woolly mammoth, we know that the entire life history of the animal is locked inside. By analyzing the tusk, we can read the life history of the mammoth. If we take a close look at this piece of ivory of this mammoth tusk, we can notice some very interesting features. It's heavy. It's a little bit weathered, making the ivory cracking. But if we take a close look inside here, we can see a kind of ear rings, like in a tree. This is also a wonderful piece of ivory of a woolly mammoth tusk. It's the blue color on the tusk. These are crystals coming from the permafrost. It's called vivianite. It's a gray-white crystal, and it turns as soon as it is exposed to the oxygen, so coming out of the permafrost, and then it turns inside this blue color. It's something which we can see on permafrost fossils originating from the black muck.